Hello everyone, welcome to Central Online. I hope you've had a great week at home, and we're just going to get into church this week. Last week, church was down at the beach. It was baptismal service, and we're just going to have a highlights video of that just now. We've got a great service lined up for you. Hayley Sutherland's bringing the communion, and we've got part one of Rab Martin's life story. It's just an amazing guy. It's filmed up in Gamery. I'm sure you'll be really encouraged from listening to that. I'm just going to hand you over to the worship team now.
Saturday was silent, surely it was through. But since when has impossible ever stopped you? And Friday's disappointment is Sunday's empty too. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is a praise make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. And Pentecostal fire is stirring something new. You're not gonna run out of miracles anytime soon. Yeah, resurrection power flows through my veins too. Yeah, I believe there's another miracle here in this room. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is a praise, make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Yeah. Save and deliver and heal.
As we come to communion, I'd just like to turn to Luke chapter 22, verse 17 to 20. It says, "Then he took a cup of wine and gave thanks to God for it. Then he said, 'Take this and share it among yourselves, for I will not drink wine again until the kingdom of God has come.' He took some bread and gave thanks to God for it. Then he broke it in pieces and gave it to the disciples, saying, 'This is my body, which is given for you. Do this to remember me.'" You know, Jesus asks us to remember him, and I'm sure we'll all love to look back and remember things that have gone by. Just this week, I was looking through some old photos and videos on my phone, and I came across a video that I had completely forgotten about. There was a little baby girl dressed in pink frills with a lovely bow on her head, and a doting big brother snuggled up beside her trying to make her giggle to the camera. And I could barely recognise the same children that live in my house nowadays, because I am now in a completely different season. We've got stained mucky clothes, we've got mucky faces, grassy knees, and an empty biscuit cupboard every single day. All the giggles and the smiles and the pink frills are all gone now, because that season is long by. But it's so easy for us to forget things from the past. It's easy to forget seasons that have gone by. But as we look back and remember, we can reconnect to that moment by just setting aside some time to remember. I love reading the Old Testament, and if you've ever read a chosen devotional of mine, you'll know that I love reading about the journey of the Israelites. It's one of my favourite things to share about. But something that always sticks out to me about the Israelites is their forgetfulness. As we read it, we can just become so exasperated with the Israelites. We can think they're in one minute, they're out the next, they love God one minute and they turn our backs on him in the next minute. They barely make it across the Red Sea, that amazing miracle that we still talk about when they're complaining about the taste of the water on the other side. God provides manna from heaven for them, and then just a few chapters later we find them bowing down and building a golden calf to worship instead of the God that they have just seen do wonders and miracles. It's easy for us when we're reading the Bible. Many times I've read it and thought, how can they possibly be so forgetful? How can they just turn their backs on somebody that loves them and has done so much for them? But as I thought about that, when we're reading the Bible, to us, it might just be a few chapters, it might be a few pages, but to them, it was time. Time had passed. And as time passes, it can diminish our memories of what has gone by. That's why I love that Jesus asks us to remember. Our forgetfulness is of no surprise to Jesus. He knows just what we're like, and he knows that he needs to remind us to remember. He knows how easily we forget his love, how easily at times we can forget the sacrifice that he made for us and the good promises that he has for us. In 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 26, we're also reminded that we'll only do this until he comes. It is so easy to become complacent in the season that we're in, isn't it? Back when that video was filmed, I was watching like a little baby. I had sleepless nights. I was up all night making bottles, changing nappies, and then in a flash, that season was gone, and it was so difficult to see the future at that time. In the season that we're in this moment, we forget that Jesus is coming back sometimes. We're so consumed by the present and what's going on round about us. We can forget that just round the corner, a new season is coming. So let's remember that we're only doing this until Jesus is coming back. As we take the cup and the bread today, I encourage you to remember the moment of your salvation, to remember the sins that have been forgiven, and remember the good promises that God has got for you. Let's remember what it cost God to save us. Let's not be like the forgetful Israelites, who in 1 Samuel chapter 12 verse 7 had to be reminded of all the good things God had done for them. But let's be a thankful people today as we take communion together.
Now this is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is a praise, make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Yeah. I hear the sound. 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 And the bones began to rattle, rattle, rattle. what he said. Live, live, draw bones, hear the word of the Lord. Live, 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 draw bones, hear the word of the Lord. Live, 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 draw bones, hear the word of the Lord. Live, 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 draw bones, hear the word of the Lord. Live, 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 draw bones, hear the word of the Lord. Live, 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 live. This is the sound. This is the sound. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is a praise, make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Yeah.
I just want to introduce to you one of my dearest and closest friends, Rob Martin. You know, sometimes in life there's things that happen that we find it so hard to explain, and this really is an incredible life story. Because there's so much happened in Rob's life, even in the last few years, we're going to do this in two parts. So today we're going to hear about Rob's early life and coming right up to probably the most challenging time that he's had. I'm sure you'll get a lot out of this. It is quite emotional, but it is very, very powerful. So here's part one of Rob Martin's incredible life story. Well, Rob, my long-time buddy, it's great to be here with you in beautiful Gamery.
Yeah,
Stunning views, stunning place, great place to live, brilliant people.
yeah.
So you've been here for how long now?
34 years been in Gamery. No regrets whatsoever. A lovely place to live, lovely place to bring up kids, family.
Aye.
It's just a great place.
Brilliant. But it didn't start here, did it? Because you moved up for the Centre Belt. So
Yeah, I
take us back, give us a bit of your family background. We can Eric and May, mum and dad, Drew and Kenny brothers, but you know, what was it like living down in Hart Hill and being brought up there?
Hart Hill, yeah, legend. Yeah, otherwise known in the day as Little Ulster. No, paving stains are red, white and blue.
Aye.
But no, Hart Hill, yeah, mining village. It was, it's all I knew. No, great place, a great bunch of friends. The Bings, I mind the Bings. It's quite funny. They were a great attraction in the winter time for brilliant sledging.
Was that the piles of the
Slag,
mines?
yeah,
Aye, for the mines.
yeah,
Aye.
from the mines, yeah, and
Aye.
it's the piles of slag, and it was just like hills. Didn't matter where you went in that, the central belt, there was just piles, and these, it just looked like hills. In fact, I mind there was, I think there was a couple used to say, it was staying with Ann and Walter. They were Americans, and they were out, and I mind they arrived in the dark, and they woke up in the morning, pulled back the curtains, hey, they couldn't believe it. No, look at these beautiful mountains.
Mountains.
Aye, we were covered with snow. When I had a heart to tell them I was
Snow-capped
slag.
things.
No, it was just
Yeah, the mountains.
but they were bowled away. No, but aye, that was the centre belt at that time. No, it
Was your dad in the mining?
Dad was a miner. Aye.
Aye.
Dad worked in Polkemmet, out in Whitburn. But I mind my dad went, aye, it was no long before the end of the strike actually. And he made the decision to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm presuming, and he's never spoken, but this is probably an early man, he's never spoken about it like. I mind my mum, I was upset. He went back. And, well, he had us to support him, so he made the decision to go back, like. And I mind of mine, I gone up, and my father's old school.
Aye.
Brilliant guy, aye, like hang with, but emotional doesn't come into the equation,
Aye,
like no
aye.
thing with. But I mind I was watching him gone up, and the tears
Wow.
gone down his cheeks, like,
Really?
because they were in there and they were getting pelted and getting shouted, scab, scab, scab.
Aye.
No, can you imagine? No, you've been out for all that length of time, aye,
Yeah.
and probably it's just circumstances forcing you back, and yeah,
Again, we've been very protected for that. Again, we would have seen it in news, but very protected for that up here, as in other things, Central Belt wise as well. You know, speak to us a little bit about that, because we've never really experienced that Catholic Protestant divide like that there is
yeah,
in
yeah.
the Central Belt. What was that like?
It was something that just happened. You had Catholic friends all through primary school. You were together. You played together, and yeah, it wasn't an issue. Till you went to secondary, and then you split. No, the Catholics had the Catholic school, and we went to, it was Calder Vale or Calder Head. No, that's it, and that was it. Looking back, it's just so sad. I was brought up in a Christian home, and from early age going to church, I never had that, I would say, hatred. No,
Aye.
it just wasn't it. It was in it.
So was it more of an identity thing rather than the hatred that we hear
Aye,
about?
aye. No, it was just the excitement of the Saturday, putting your scarf on. No, especially it was Rangers Celtic. They were brilliant days. Scarf on, no, getting there, the buzz, the crowds, and there wasn't any segregation then. No, mine used to be walked along. It was just a line of policemen and horses and all that. So you had various fans.
Aye.
No, you'd be sitting in the bottles with the come fleeing out. You'd be dodging. Oh yeah, aye, no, coins and that. You'd be bawling and shouting at each other. No, through the aye, and it was the atmosphere. It was just aye, it was buzzing. But aye, no, me and my family. You were Rangers. That was it. I mean, when I was born, I was going to be a Rangers supporter. Aye, nothing else came into it. No, that was no. It was part of the makeup, the DNA. No, that you're a Rangers man.
Were you ever involved with the lodges and with the Orange Walks and things like that, or were any of your family, if you didn't experience that?
Yeah, my Uncle John, he was in the Orange Order, and I mind it was the story. I think it was the Western Walk. It was going through Hart Hill. The big walk was going through Hart Hill, 12th, and I suppose it was a lovely day, and the bands are all marching by, and Uncle John, he was in charge of, and you've probably seen it on the TV now, the great big banners, Loyal Me Orange, I think they were carrying it, sweltering day. And my Uncle John, he was getting relieved, he had done his bit, other standard bearer goes in, takes it. And there's a wee woman on the street now. When you Hart Hill is one main street, typical mining village. You'd all the wee cottages lining.
Yeah, yeah.
No, so the front door opens straight onto the pavement and the
seen
road.
it,
So
aye.
you've got it. So you can imagine it. No, streets are packed. The flute bands are going by there. Uncle John gets relieved. And here, the wee woman's stalling, and he goes to her, he says, "Look, hen, is there any chance I can get a drink of water? I'm absolutely parched carrying that, like." And she says, "No bother, son, come away in and I'll get you a drink." So my Uncle John, he gets in, takes off the bowler hat and his gloves, and he's sitting there, and he's just looked out the fireplace, and he's, "What?" And here's the crucifix out of the fireplace. And the wee woman, she came in, and she gave him, I mind him telling me, he says she gave me a tumbler of cold lemonade. And he says, and I drank it, and I went, thanked her, and I walked outside, and I took my sash off, put it in my bowler hat with the white gloves, and I walked down the street, and I opened the bin and put them in, shut it. He says, if a wee Catholic woman can give me a drink after watching me marching against everything she believed in, he says, nah. And that was him finished with the lodge after that. Yeah. That was it.
Amazing.
Oh, I mean, massive decision, and it just shows, like you said, in the grace note, just, to do that.
Wow.
It was, quite poignant.
Growing up in a church like Hart Hill Pentecostal Church, believed in salvation, believed in this kind of thing for you. You love people, even your enemies. You know, how was that? How was your experience of that as a child and as growing up into youth and that?
As in, well, you never got a choice. No, Sunday, you were made. Aye, I mean, you to lose a limb before you couldn't
Get off.
to go in the church, like, no. To be honest with you, I said, looking back, it was a social thing. No, Sunday, thinking back then, all through Sunday school and everything, it just became a day that's what you did. You make your pals there, So, spiritual wise, I've been totally honest, it wasn't at that time, it wasn't a spiritual thing, it was something that you did on the Sunday, and I went and met my pals.
Obviously, you know, like you say, it wasn't really dropping into the heart at that time. It was a lot of social thing. But was there a time when you got a bit older that you experienced something of the Lord?
It was a conference. Maybe I was more focused at that age, or just because there wasn't a tea and I had nothing to distract me.
It was a what?
And I focused on what was being said. That's when I started hearing a relationship rather than religion.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying, up there it was just religion, social, but that, I suppose, looking back, was probably when my actual relationship with God started.
So, for there then, you obviously settling into youth group and things there. Probably a lot of pals down there. Coming at the end of high school, I suppose. What happens then?
My father, he comes in and announces, "We're going north." I says, "What are you on about?" He says, "When you leave school, we're going to Gamely." And it's just
World changing.
world changing. Finishing the mines, this is where I was wanted to go.
Okay, aye.
So this is
So he was finished with the mining. And
that was, and northward. So that was a big range. Leaving, we can imagine, leaving my pals, it wasn't the choice, or whatever. And obviously it affected my brothers. They were still at school. So it was a massive range for them. Whereas I came up and I ended up in Seaway.
Seaway Net Company in Macduff.
In Macduff. I worked there. 2, 3 years. Was in there, and then I started my fishing career.
But that's when we met you as well, when you came up
And that's
started
it.
coming to the...
And that's when the relationship was born. Me, you, and Victor. Goodness me, that must be 30 odd years now.
Well, if you're 34 years up here, it's been round about then.
Aye,
that
it
we've
is,
been
it's straight,
partners.
aye.
It's been amazing.
Been-
You passed your test quick enough.
Yeah,
when
passed
you
my
were
test,
17, and we remember some of the cars. Remember the brown Cortina?
The brown Cortina. Oh,
Wow,
geez.
legendary vehicle.
Legend, eh?
So yeah, brown Cortina days. I remember it flying through there at the Memsey Quarry sometimes, like a Dukes of Hazzard.
Aye.
You gave that thing
Oh, that
sun
got
belting.
beasted, that motor. Like,
Beasted.
Absolutely beasted. Put that by, dearie me. Aye, Memsey Quarry. Aye, out there, me. Out there doing handbreakers and door rings and...
Victor West used to do it as well, didn't
I
he?
know.
His mum and dad didn't know, but
Aye,
maybe
mum
do
and
now.
dad, I know mine with
Do now.
the Escort.
Aye.
It got put through the paces.
Xander's with the
Xander
Escort.
and Barbara.
Yeah.
I would be
It's
turning
about
in
time
the
that they knew about this.
I know I can.
So you survived a lot of moments in the cars. Tell us about your time at sea. You said you worked in Seaway nets for a while, then you went to sea. So far did you
Yeah.
start at on the fishing?
I finished up at Seaway and I got my first berth, and it was with Alistair Bruce.
Yes.
He
that the Day Dawn?
The Day Dawn, yeah. And then I got a berth with Xander. Andrew and Xander Hepburn on the Colleague. But I'm in the boat, and I mind it was dark. And it was chaffy. It was quite chaffy, a major, enough. And every boat suffered with the same thing. No, the wires running out of the roller cuts a wee notch, and the wires got caught when they forced them between the roller. The thing, they got caught. So what you done was you take the shorting pole. It's a big heavy metal pole that we put in to keep everything separate, and you just, when you're shooting them, you just give a quick dick, and it used to jump up. Same again, went down, and I says, sake, I'll get the pole and I'll give you this, I've done. Grabbed it, and the boat took a lunge, aye, and just enough as to dislodge that wire for the hangway, and I mind the wire just comes spinning across, and I'm standing with the pole, and I just seen it bang. Next I can, there I'm through the air, and next thing I'm in the water, and I mind coming up, and it's one of them. No, I seen the lights of the boat just gone away. I mind I came out the water, and I just looked, and I could just see the wire. I grabbed hold of that wire, and then, as I say, it was a chavvy night. As the boat's gone down, next minute I was under the water. And then I was getting catapulted out, grabbing onto the water, and just and then both back down again. And this going on. I was holding on, and I was coming closer to the boat. I knew I was coming closer. I said, if I can just hold on. No, I come up the last time, and I says, that's me, I can't hold on. And I did. I grasped, it just went for me. And I was under the water. But I mind, I was just sinking. I just mind that I started in the field, I was just sinking, and just hoping I'd done enough.
Yeah.
I didn't cry out for no, but just I did it just hoping. I hope I've done enough to get to heaven. No, it wasn't. Hanging for forgiveness. I was just hoping. I was just there hoping. And then all of a sudden, I just felt this jerk, and what the lads, they got the boat, and the lads has seen me with the boat's lights, has seen my yellow waterproof Miley jacket, and they got a boat pole, and a boat pole's a great big boat hook, it's got a hook, and I think it was Charlie and James George, right, was aboard at that time, and then they plunged the boat hook down, and they caught my hood.
Aye.
And they pulled me back, and I mind getting got dragged out, and obviously I was spewing everything, and Xander mind the Xander, he comes out. And mind him grabbing me. Aye, come on you, Anne. And we're on the deck and he came in and he just gave my knife. Start gutting. I went, "Anne, just start gutting." No, I mean, no, we've not got all day. Start gutting, no. And so, yeah, I started gutting away and just got on with it. In hindsight, no. That sounds quite brutal.
It's tough
but
love, isn't it?
It's tough love. It was tough love because if I hadn't if I dwelt on that, I probably wouldn't have went back to sea again. No, it's just the fear. But I never got no time whatsoever to dwell on it. Yeah, dragged out. No, get that knife back in, and I started to gut, and just and go on with it.
So you're a blessed man and protected, and two good skippers as well to look after you with Alistair Bruce and Xander Hepburn as well, and Andrew, great guys.
Yeah.
In your life.
Oh, as I say, they've been major, like in that days.
So Rob, I was that's just late teens, so lots happened. But going on in life then, funded Alison come into your life?
Alison, 1994, I suppose. My cousin Fiona, she was getting married, and I was going to the wedding, obviously. So, but they stay in England, and it was in Crawley, south of London there. And yeah, I goes away down and gets ready. And Alison was Fiona's best pal. No, they've been up through school. They've been best pals. Alison's the bridesmaid. So anyway, no, didn't ken her. All she kent was Fiona's Scottish cousins coming down to the wedding.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a cliche, I suppose. Now, hanging no, I thought she was lovely. She was lovely. And even probably she didn't hang with, but it's just, you're the one for me. I just
First
knew.
time meeting?
I just knew. I'm going to marry you. And I just knew it. Hey, no, it sounds really corny, I suppose. No, like and soulmates and all the rest of it. But I just knew, she was the one. And yeah, I mean, it didn't. I think it was 2-3 times after that. And I went back and forth, but yeah, before we started going out together. But yeah, and obviously the distance, long distance relationship. Me at the fishing, so coming home and 2 or phone calls and everything. And if I was home on a Friday, used to jump in the car, batter it through to Aberdeen, catch a flight down to London Gatwick. Alison was a chef, really good chef, specialised in it was cakes, pastries. She'd a gardener and merchant she worked for at that time, but she gave it all up to come to Gamery. Now you can imagine, coming from Crawley, massive, big town, 40 minutes, you're in London, just everywhere to Gamery. Major culture shock.
So big sacrifice for her.
Massive sacrifice,
family,
left her family, friends, everything to come and take a chance on me.
But
That's an ABBA song, is it?
Take a chance on you.
But anyway, she did, and she came up, and and we were married in 1998.
Going on for there, you guys just went from strength to strength.
Married, Chloe came in 99, Lois in 2003. I was at the fishing, and then I left the fishing, and then I went offshore.
And you spent so much time away, and And I guess Alison looked after everything at home.
Alison looked after. Alison done it. I mean, Alison was my rock. Aye. She was. She just. Aye. And know what? And I just didn't appreciate it enough. He didn't. No, it wasn't. No, it was his thing. No, but she was working full time. No, she was looking after the wedding. She was looking after the house. She done it. But I didn't care if it was my bank account. Alison done it all.
But it worked, eh? It was a great family
But what?
unit.
Aye, no.
Some great times together.
Aye.
Fantastic holidays.
Fantastic holidays. No, we had no adventures in that caravan. Dearie me. Aye. She was good. She made me better. She made me a better person.
Aye.
She did.
And so there was moments as well, weren't there, like that she covered, or they covered up. Mind you tell me about they would drop you off.
Oh,
At the
jeez, I tell it all makes sense now as well, tell you. My car was spotless, aye. I didn't expect it to be spotless when I came because no, but they kent the rules. No, no eating in the motor.
Aye.
Nothing, aye, no, I mean, that was the rules. And they dropped me off, and I goes away offshore. Our first stop was McDonald's. and I was informed, and we ate it in the car, Dad.
Drive through. Wow.
Straight through the drive-through. No, my car, aye, I was just, what? We used to quickly hoover it, and Mum used to put it through the car wash.
Oh,
But no, this,
shameful.
as soon as I know,
Shameful.
and then can the gather, I'm going, that explains a lot. Because I washing the car and going, how on earth can this love mask in it? No, I'm taking all the precautions. And how's that possible? No. And I started, second guessing myself. I'm going, how can this scratches? No, I just took all out. But there you go. No, cats away, the mice will play.
Thankfully, you never found out till years later.
I never found out till years later. Yeah.
You know, let's just open up the journey here. You know, in 2015, just maybe describe that time and if it went on and if it happened.
2015. Yeah. Yeah, that was a year. In fact, I was just looking the day. That photograph, I think I sent you last night, and the picture was 2013, and we were on holiday, Florida, and we had a special day. We were at that Dolphin Cove, swimming with the dolphins, and
With the girls, would that have been a dream? Kind of?
that was a dream. No, Alison had saved for years, for the build up for that holiday, but no, what it turned out to be one of the most special days ever. No, we swam with the dolphins took her out, and I mind it was my birthday, October. It was October. It was a special day. The 2015, yeah, you'd hardly believe it. No, everything was perfect. Just perfect. No, job, everything gone well. And then 2 years later, yeah. Alison she was complaining of pain. No, it's one of that things. She was, like I said, Alison was strong. Unbelievable, like. Still working, but she still had this persistent pain. And she went for different tests, the usual story, and everything's fine. No, there's nothing. There's nothing there. I can't see nothing. But no, I got on, and she went and seen some. Her blood tests were coming back, and things were clear. And she went to there was a specialist, and I had a look and said, "No, there's nothing." I mind. I said, "No, Alison, there's something all right." So I booked an MRI scan through in Aberdeen, and so that was booked on the Thursday, and I went away I was going to be back to the rig on the Tuesday. And I mind I was going, and I mind Alison was at the door, and I mind I was saying, don't worry, she says. She was, I was worrying, it's not about Alison, she was, I was worrying about, about me, whatever. She says, don't worry, love. Don't worry, it's no cancer. No, don't worry yourself, I'll see you when you get home.
Yeah.
I mind kissing her, and then I know I went away at the rig. And phone call, I was on shift on the Thursday. Rab, there's a phone I call for you at the office. Of it I knew that's probably Alison with the results of the test, and goes up to the office, gets a phone call, and the first words, I'm sorry. I says, you're sorry? I says, yeah, your son, she says it's cancer. You need to come home. And yeah, getting hit with a sledgehammer. But I made my way home, and on the Thursday and the Friday, obviously the doctor came and he said, they'd missed it. No, they'd just missed it. And we got down, and obviously they'd done their tests, whatever, and I came in to see, was at the nurse's station, asked them just know what can night, no, it's a fine night, the surgeon's coming down, to speak to you. I thought it's brilliant. No, they must be going to operate early, no, mind me. Goes down to a room, probably bouncing with this news. Says, look, the surgeons are coming to see you, there must be a plan, must be going to operate early, no, we'll get this, we'll sort this, no. And they came in, and 4 or 5 of them, and you seen that, the look in the face, probably said that all, and so if it's a plan, he says, sorry, we're really sorry, there's nothing we can do. And it's disbelief, isn't it? And Alison, she said, tell me I've got to July. Niece is getting married, and the girls are flower girls, just tell me I've got to July. I don't, this is not, it's not got that. This is May. How can somebody know? How can somebody know? I think it is. No, you're not going to make July. It's 2 months.
Yeah.
It's 2 months away. And just had to come home. So obviously we comes home, and Alison, I was, well, you can imagine. No, 2 months. This is this is this is Alison. This is my rock. What am I going to do with it? Without Alison, Alison was everything. I loved her. Just loved her. But she tell the girls, I couldn't. She tell them, and I can't know what she said, but she tell them. I must have been the Wednesday run up to that weekend. It was her birthday, 15th of May. Alison was 47. Never mind it. And obviously with the lassies, Dad, we've not got Mama cake. I said, I need to get a cake. So I was in Tesco's, and I looked, the only cake they had left was a caterpillar cake. It's a sweet caterpillar cake, so we took that and we went back. Had lit the candles, blew them out, What do you wish for? What do you wish for? And then, like I said, no, Alison wasn't a believer. Alison was brilliant, but Alison wasn't a Christian. Even though, Alison sent the kids to Sunday school. Alison, I didn't know, but Alison wasn't a Christian. No. And came up that day, and we were in that huddle, and I was surprised. Suppose would be that. No, I mean, I should be the one. Yeah, it should be praying and no shouting for miracles, and anyway, but I wasn't.
Because she requested that we came up, didn't she?
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah, Alison asked.
Joined arms and
that was the thing. I knew all that, and you're praying, and Susan, I was praying, and the thing that I was down me was Alison was
he
praying.
was praying. Yeah, I remember it.
Just, I mean, no, but it's funny because how was that the first time? No, I had even thought, no, Alison wasn't a Christian. No, I didn't want to face it. If I was being truthful, I really didn't want to face it. Didn't I? And I knew, I knew she wasn't going to get that miracle. I just knew it.
Yeah.
And I can, as a Christian and all the rest of it, I should be a big one, but I just knew it. I wasn't going to be.
Something deep within you that she was going.
Sure, I knew, And as I said, we went through that, the weekend. And the Saturday, she said, "Now, Robert," she says, "it's time to go. She said, you need to take me to the hospital. It's time to go." I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I begged her. Nah, no, just no yet. And jeez, I mind just come on here and you can. She's got, "Can't, Robert, it's time." Yeah, so I might have got in the car and went up. It was in Bath. They were ready for us. They can't. No, at some point, no, she was coming and they were ready. And I might sitting with Alison. I knew I was starting to think. The reality was hitting. Alison's not saved. How do you start? No. Where do you start, like? And I was sitting one night and Alison turned around and asked me, "Am I going to hell, Robert?" Would you say to your wife when she asks you, "Is she going to hell?" Would you say that? And I says, "Alison, all you need to do is just trust in him and believe. That's all you need to do. Just trust in him and believe." And I'm praying, "Oh Lord, just come into Alison's life." No, I didn't know what to say. I've not got the words. I took her home. And I went, "Oh, Alison, I didn't know what to say to you. You just need to," and no, she went, "Stop. And I suppose that's when I noticed her face. There was a change, you know. It was all, she says, it's all right. She says, I believe. I'm looking at it, she says, it's okay. I mean, hold the man, she says, okay. She says, I believe. I went to the nurse, and I says, look, you need to up that no more. She says, you can't take it. And she says, look, we need to go and get the doctor, and then we need authorisation, no, to go into the last stage, I suppose. And then the doctor came, and I begged that doctor, oh please, just give her the big morphine, and just, she's in pain, didn't want her to suffer. And he says, yeah, he says, that is its time. She opened her eyes, and I looked at her, know this? I suppose for a second, goodness me off. No, she was back, she was colour, no, she was, I suppose, we got a miracle. And yeah, I mean, just looking at her, and it was so funny, just so Alison. And she was pointing. Colin, she was saying, I think it's to Fiona, she couldn't speak right. And yeah, I had a thread. And Fiona, plucked it. And I mind her, she just went, give us the thumbs. She put her arms out. I mind having her. I lost words. I love you. Then they came in and yeah, they hooked her up to the morphine, and on the 26th of May, Alison passed, and but no, I guess gone back, no, all school. I was brought up, no, you've got to say the prayer of forgiveness. No, you've got to, and I did. I questioned. I says, no, she didn't go through the normal steps, as you, but that's no. And I was just holding, and I'm going, is that just doubts? And then out of nowhere, this is just a minute, no, when she passed, and I was there with her, and this old hymn of mine singing it years ago in church in Harhill, I mind, and then it's, what a day that will be, when my Jesus we shall see, when we look upon his face, the one who saved me by his grace. And yeah, and I knew, there's a feeling, and I can how you explain it to anybody. I didn't need to, I knew, no, it's coming, no, it was there, and I just couldn't get this out of my head. It was there every time, it was there. No, what day that would be. I couldn't even remember the rest of the hymn. I didn't, in fact, I think I actually, later on, and again, I think I texted you actually, what's this, I just couldn't, but that's what it is, what a day that will be when my Jesus I shall see, when I look upon his face, the one who saved me by his grace. And that's what Christianity's about. No, and I knew, I don't know. Alison was in heaven. Yeah. But like I said, that was great assurance, but I had 2 girls at home. Hardest thing I think I'll ever do is go and tell your lasses their mother's died, their mother's gone to heaven. Boy was first. She was in the kitchen. She just seen my face. She knew. I didn't need to say nothing. And Chloe ran. Chloe ran out of the house. I couldn't get after her. And Lois was up the stairs. And I mind phoning Karen. I says, Karen, look, you need to try and get Chloe's just, Alison's gone. Chloe said, I can't get after her, I've got Lois. I need to tell Lois. And I went up the stairs, Lois was on her bed. 12 and 16. Cheaper. 12 and 16. Just when they done mum. And I saying, I sat down and says, oh Lois, I says, mum's gone with the angels, and mum's in heaven, she's gone. I mind I was just throwing her arms on about us. Yeah, mum's gone. Alison was gone, but it wasn't the end. It's the beginning. It was the beginning of Alison's story, a new life. It was the end, maybe the end for I, and this side the end for us. But Alison, that was her. This was her beginning. I was just so proud that, I was married to this woman, and I was just counting my blessings, But no, what I was thinking about that there was joy there. There was joy. That's how I know. Because like I was saying, we never go to the miracle of healing, but got better. Got the miracle of salvation. Yeah. And the assurance that brought I suppose it's just the assurance of that I had a difference on the day. I was just blessed. No, and that's how it wasn't the Alison was just she's in heaven, I knew it, and it was just the beginning for her. And she left too early, but I could deal with that because she's not in the grave, the graveside, she's not there, and she's in heaven, and that's what makes all the difference. That's what gives you the peace. Just the miracle of salvation.
That's it. And that's the words of that song that you got that day.
And that's it. What a day.
When he takes me by the hand and leads me to the promised land.
That's the rest of it.
Glorious day that
will be. Aye. No, it just summed up everything. Even no more pain, no more. It just summed up everything, and I suppose it's weird, isn't it? No, but joy. Yeah. But at the graveside, speaking about the graveside, I was there, and it was Alison's brothers and it was Alison's friends that all had the rope. Aye, had the rope, and it was our friends, no. Laid it, and that's where it hurt. I mind, I know when you get married, and that was till death do us part. No, you stand there and you say that words. It doesn't. You say them. You didn't think. Aye, no. Aye, death do us part. We're going to be in our 80s, 70s. Aye, no, that's when that part happens. It's not going to happen now. No, it's nothing. Aye, and I mind I was sitting and I was looking and then that's when reality hit. Even when Alison was in the rooms, resting that, no, she was still here. I went there, no, and I spoke to her. She was still here, aye. But when that was it, till death do us part. And it was final. That's it. I parted. That's just. I mind this, and I'll not be able to. Aye, hear her shouting, "A cup of tea, love." Aye, hen. I'll not touch her again. Yeah, all this emotions, laugh together, argue together. Oh, that's finished. No, it's yeah. It's death do us part. It's gone. You never. Aye. It's just this shouldn't be. But no, that's I was there with the last season. I was the one of the hands. No, I hate to stay strong. But the biggest thing, I mind looking at them and realising it's me. Alison had took them this far. She brought them up to this stage, and now it was up to me. I had the responsibility to bring them on. Aye, the next are teenagers. God, the worst years. Aye, how on earth could you think of leaving? No, and leaving me with this responsibility, and that's what it was. I just thought, I'm looking at them and going, "Jeez, aye, I've got this two ends," and the biggest thing was I didn't want to let her down. As far as that, she'd done a brilliant job up to now, and now here's me. Aye, I just didn't want to let her down. But I knew I had to stay strong, and the two of them were there, and I had to become mum and dad. Yeah. That was a learning experience. No. Life where, after the funeral, and it's not just no. It's one of them, isn't it? No, and everybody gets it. After the funeral, everybody's at the door of that initial hang. No, there's food and Gamery. We're blessed, man. There's some real caring folk in Gamery. Great friends. Everybody rallies. No, all through. It's just It's just can't describe, just the amount of support and everything.
Aye.
But the reality is, life goes on. And in that time, I didn't really have time to think about it. I didn't see much of the last season. I mean, Fiona is such.
She's been a tower of strength for you.
Fiona is. I didn't even know. She is. Tower total. She was there. I know when you've just buried anybody, but I just buried Alison. You can imagine, I was in bits, but no what? It's not just, that's not the end. That isn't that's not the finish. Like, you've then shut down. Eraser. You have to erase her for this world. No, you go for mobile phones, for Facebook accounts, bank. In a minute, And just to grasp that, no, I'm raising somebody as if they didn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
That took a lot to get my head around, no.
Mm-hmm.
And just how easy, how it was just a response or a hang with, and go on, yeah, that's couch shut, go on. Yeah, so that was a bit. Fiona was there, and I couldn't have done it with her actually. She was just, yeah,
she's
massive.
fantastic.
She's just fantastic.
Aye.
She really is. Yeah, so yeah, it was difficult days, but hey, the reality is, yeah, massive. I've got 2 girls. I'm offshore. I can't do it. I can't carry on with my job.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be home. So, dearie me, like a double whammy. No, not only I've just lost the woman that just meant the world to me, and I've lost a job.
To give up your career.
Give up a career, all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You've got, it's not just a case of, no, this has been lumped on you. But then, wait a minute, finances, no, the bills are still to be paid.
Mm-hmm.
Alison's not here, that everything, everything's just all up in the air. But at the end of the day, I had 2 girls. And yeah, I never grief, probably not, I didn't. No as much as I should have, no as much as we should have as a family. Our days where I head on, right, I'm setting up, I need to know that I had to do something, so that's where CLR started. And that's what I threw myself at. That's how I dealt with it.
So it's a business that you started up, and it was car detailing, CLR, Chloe Lois Rab, but you know, it was a passion of yours that you turned into a business, eh?
Yeah, I've always been, we can, I've always been a car and that, and dabbled with it, for a number of years before, So it was a case of, right, here's a hobby here, can I turn it into a business?
Mm-hmm.
And I threw everything at that. A coping mechanism, maybe. I know we're off, I mean, it's not, well, I know as a Christian, no, you can be praying as I was doing, but that still doesn't, God doesn't stop and become a cushion for that emotions, for that grief, no, for the loss, no, it doesn't. We're all human, and it's something that we will go through, and it's something as individuals we'll find our ways to deal with. And mine's was, I started that business and
Throw yourself into it.
I threw myself into it. Time goes on, you might be getting bogged down, and you wonder, no, where's God in all this? But that's what I've learned, and if we go on all the different things, but what I've learned is, see, when it gets like that, stop and just look back. Stop and look back and know this, if you just take a minute, I can look back and I can see God's hand on my life. The day I probably should have drowned, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dang it, no, I met this beautiful woman who I spent 23 years, special years, and I was blessed with that. Alison's in heaven. I was blessed with the miracle of salvation. She left me 2 beautiful daughters. And even though at the time everything was crashing down, I look back and I says, no, what? I can see God's faithfulness in it all. And instead of being angry and hanging with grief, no, what? I look back and I just thank God, because of the blessings I've had He's bestowed on me all that years. I didn't look back and tears of sadness. I can actually look back and know what I've got the memories and everything, and it's tears of joy.
Yeah, wow.
It's tears. I look back and it's tears of joy. It's nothing to do with sadness. It's tears of joy, because I've been blessed in so many ways, and it sounds crazy. And at that, it's at that time, but we got through it, and I'm just so blessed.
Glorious day that will be. There'll be no sorrows there, no more burdens to bear, no more sickness and no more pain, and no more parting over there, but forever I will be with the one who died for me. What a day, glorious day that will be. What a day that will be, when my Jesus I shall see. When I look upon His face, the one who saved me by His grace, and when He takes me by the hand and leads me through the promised land. What a day, glorious day that will be. What a day there will be, when my Jesus I shall see. When I look upon His face, the one who saved me by His grace, but when He takes me by the hand and leads me through the promised land. What a day, glorious day that will be. Glorious day that will be.
Thanks, Rab, for having the courage to share your story. Part 2 of that's coming up next week. If there's anything in that story, or there's anything in you that wants to know more about Jesus, the email address should be coming up on the screen and you can get in touch with us. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week. Bye.